What's up, YouTube? Hope everyone's having a blessed day. We're going to be talking about and reading one of the craziest stories that I found that was sent in by a loyal Patreon subscriber. So shout out to you, my brother. Thank you for sharing this story. But I had to share with you guys. I had to share this because this is just such a crazy story, number one, and a perfect example of what beta male manipulation looks like and beta male game looks like. Because a lot of these pastors and counselors that help with marriage therapy and relationship therapy and counseling, they're actually in it to just screw your wife, okay? Or get close to your wife and try to do that. That is their end game because they are beta males, and that is their tactic or their version of their game. That's how they run game. That's how they source their poon, so to speak. They come in as the friend that is the emotional tampon. He's there absorbing all of her relationship drama and chaos that you're bringing her, right? That you're bringing upon the relationship, and she pours her heart out into this other man, and this other man gives her advice, tells her what to do, and is like, oh sweetie, I can't believe he's doing that to you. A real man would never do something like that to you. Here's what I would do in this situation if I was your husband. I'm not trying to say I'm your husband, but if I was, you wouldn't be in marriage counseling, obviously. They run that BS, that bull, and they eventually try to build a relationship with your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, because they come into that relationship dynamic with your significant other as a source of help or emotional tampon. And they have one goal and one goal only, and that is to just bag your wife. They're trying to just smash your wife. That's all it is. And a lot of pastors know this, all right? Because when you're a pastor, you are a leader, you are an alpha in that church, just the way the church is set up. You have your pastor right here, the only one standing up giving the message, and the rest of the audience all facing this one individual. So he puts himself into a power position. So the women are going to look up to that man, all right? Even if these women have husbands at home in the audience, they're still looking up to the pastor as that source of God and leadership and alphaness in that setting, okay? In that setting, in that church setting. So with no further ado, I'm just gonna read you guys briefly bits and pieces of this story because it's absolutely insane. So with no further ado, let's dive into it. Ben Zobrist, pastor, reportedly manipulated him into giving wife space only to see her cheat with said pastor. This point, man, you can just see the writing on the wall before it even happens. This doesn't even surprise me anymore. Ben Zobrist had a pretty solid MLB career and is best known for winning the 2016 World Series MVP award after helping the Chicago Cubs snap their franchise's long championship drought. But in 2020, the player took a leave of absence from the club due to personal issues stemming from a divorce with his wife, Julianna Zobrist, who hadn't really made news much until then. And his wife right here, she is a Christian gospel singer. Surprisingly, you would never see a Christian gospel singer cheat, would you? Would you ever see someone like this that is a God-fearing woman step out on her marriage and her relationship to an MLB superstar? A man that's making millions of dollars a year and won the World Series MVP, not just the World Series. He won the MVP, the most valuable player of the World Series. There's no way this guy would get cheated on. No way. Well, guess what, guys? Female nature doesn't care. Female nature does not care about how you feel and how it makes you feel. Fast forward to today, and reports claim that Ben and Julianna weren't just getting a divorce, but that she allegedly cheated on him with the family's pastor. But the details are even more disgusting than that. According to a news source, Ben Zobrist is seeking $6 million in damages from Byron Yon, the CEO of Nashville area consulting firm and former pastor at a church in the city. The story claims Yon met Ben and Julianna Zobrist about 16 years ago and developed a friendship with the family, which includes 3 kids, and that during that time, the former MLB player lost about $8 million in income. All right, so he's financially struggling, and He's sending this man money, his pastor, who is supposed to help build the relationship, help strengthen the family unit, help the woman realize that she is the man's helpmeet and she should come along and assist him alongside his purpose. But instead of helping your relationship during turmoil, he's using that as a beta male tactic to get inside your woman's head and be available for her emotionally so that she can open up in more ways than one. It gets even worse than this. Allegedly, Jan, the pastor, was defrauding Zobrist Charity Foundation, for which he worked, while also providing the Zobrists pre- and post-marital counseling. According to the latest lawsuit, he also counseled Ben Zobrist regarding anxiety and depression. Meanwhile, Byron Jan, the pastor, was sleeping with the wife of the 2016 World Series MVP. All of this is so messed up and sounds like the plot of a crappy Lifetime movie than something that happens in real life. So here's what the report said. Beginning in August 2018, Jan talked daily with Julianna Zobrist. The lawsuit states it alleges their sexual relationship began in the spring of 2019 and lasted for about a year. Jan and Julianna Zobrist also prepaid mobile telephones to help conceal their relationship, the lawsuit states. Jan's wife, Robin Jan, reportedly discovered the phones in May 2019. Robin notified Ben Zobrist, but she told him that she believed the husband and the wife were engaged in an emotional relationship, not a physical one, the lawsuit states. The Zobrists then began marital counseling. Ben Zobrist did not know until June 2020 that his wife and Byron Jan had a sexual relationship, the lawsuit states. Julianna Zobrist admitted the nature of the relationship and that she lied to her husband about it in responses to written requests for admission in a divorce proceeding. During that time, after his wife filed divorce in 2019, as his marriage began to crumble, Zobrist was confiding in Byron Jan, the freaking pastor that was smashing his wife, and that he was going to for his marriage counseling, his anxiety, his depression, his struggles with money and finances. Who does he go to? Oh, the pastor. You think you can trust your pastor at your local church not to screw your wife and to give you good advice, right? You would think that. You would think that. But with so many beta males nowadays, you gotta cut the grass extremely, extremely low so you can see all the snakes around you. You can see all of them. Because we have pastors that are becoming pastors with the sole purpose of just to run through entire churches of married women. Because that's their beta male game. That's what they're gonna do. Let's continue reading. While this whole thing was going on with his wife, Ben Zobrist was getting counseling from the same pastor who was sleeping with his wife. Jan even suggests Zobrist give his wife some space per court documents showing texts between the two men. Yeah, so her walls had time to close up after she was getting ran through during her counseling. She used the words emotional, verbal, and spiritual abuse. I was shocked. Can't be 2,000 miles away from her and the kids while she's thinking that about me. I have owned every bit of my sin, but I will not own the abuse angle. Of course, what's the number one thing women say about their exes, and the number one thing women claim has happened to them by men? That they've been A-worded. He just said it. They've been abused. That is their go-to. Because somehow when they say that, that excludes them from all accountability. Because, oh, it just happened. It just happened. It just happened that way. I don't have to own up to my mistakes. It just happened. The report goes on and says, you've got to feel so bad for the former Chicago Cubs player who was manipulated through all of this. What a bunch of cowards both Julianna Zobrist and the Byron Jan guy are. There is scum, then there are these two, who are a whole new breed of trash in order to scheme up such a lie. There's so much to unpack with the story, like how Jan was regularly stealing money and or commanding a $3,500 per month salary from the Zobrists while smashing his wife. That it's honestly hard to even write or read about it, but it's a reminder that there are some terrible, miserable, seriously conniving a-holes out there, so be careful. Yeah, and this is a perfect example of what can happen to you if you don't have this awareness, if you don't have this RP knowledge. This can happen to you because you're so unaware of female nature that you really think you might be the one, and that none of this can happen to you because you're her husband. You're her long-term boyfriend. She loves you so much. You've been nothing but a gentleman to her. You've been sweet to her. You've been kind to her. You give her space when she needs her space, when she's actually just getting piped and she just needs time to close up. When you're a beta male, when you're a blue pill simp, mangina, you don't realize these things. When you don't have this awareness, you don't realize any of this is happening right underneath your nose. And you're gonna end up paying for it like Ben Zobrist did, unfortunately. And a beta male that's using his pastoral leverage over you, if that's even a word, he's going to be a pastor or some figurehead in your local community, a counselor. He's going to be smashing your wife on the low. I can't make this stuff up. We're going to see more and more stories like this coming out. So I want you guys to use this as a lesson to be learned, that no man is safe. Even the MVP of the World Series isn't safe. His wife still stepped out on him with a pastor, a local pastor, and a relationship counselor. So no man is safe, and female nature is undefeated. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like on the video. Hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel and you want to receive updates and notifications. And until next time, I'll see you guys. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at LonnieSpence_. See you guys. Peace. Have a good one.